Welcome back to the Coming Out Happy podcast. We are so excited that you're here today. We have a special guest. Today, we're speaking with Wesley Smoot, the founder and marketing director of Unleashed LGBTQ. Wesley is a passionate advocate for inclusive LGBTQ culture and the visionary behind the first ever business conference and entertainment festival for LGBTQ and allied professionals. It's happening in Dallas in September. It's called Unleashed LGBTQ. From being a reporter and a book author to an artistic director and entrepreneur, Wesley's journey is a testament to his unwavering commitment to impactful innovation while uplifting marginalized communities. Join us as we dive into his experiences as a queer pioneer and the transformative power of Unleashed LGBTQ+. I'm so excited. Welcome, Wesley.
Hey, thank
You're
you
looking
very
great.
much. I really appreciate that. I mean, y'all just boosting my confidence so much. Before the interview, we were testing the sound and they were complimenting my outfit and all. And now hearing that opening, that really gives me a big boost.
Look at your smile. Well, listen, if you're listening to the podcast, you may have to go over and watch just to see what everyone looks like today. But Wesley, tell us a little bit about the inspiration between the conference Unleashed LGBTQ+. Tell us, what was sparked in your mind? Like, what was happening when you were thinking of creating this?
Well, we definitely got a lot of inspiration from South by Southwest. I grew up in Austin, Texas. It was a great industry events where, people could learn about, all the latest things coming out. I loved that environment. I loved all of the different things that provided attendees. But I got to thinking, whenever I saw so many different LGBTQ businesses, so many amazing advocates and talent, whether it be performers or, actors, people who were writers. It was like, what if we built this and created a similar environment where people could share the latest things coming out, make a platform where they could talk about their latest album or book or series or movie and, have that sort of space where people can network as well. And we just thought it would be really fun. So we got to work on it and the pandemic hit. After months and months of hard work, and we really got knocked on our butts, really pushing to the limit, what we could do, but there was nothing anybody could really do after that. But we went on to create some virtual events, and here we are with our very first in-person inaugural Unleashed LGBTQ for 2023.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, we're going to be sharing some exciting news as well that involves Dani and I with this event, but just the amazing, what you had to go through, right? Of getting so excited about knowing that this is going to be an event and then having it canceled and, waiting and I know how much goes into events. There's so many different pieces and people that are involved. How did you keep your stamina of excitement for it to be happening now and just keep going? What was behind all that? Because I know there was a lot of behind the scenes of getting different people and what that looked like as well.
Well, we ended up having no other choice but to do a virtual event. And it, ended up being this kind of blessing in disguise where for a much less investment, a nominal investment, we were able to book some of these really talented speakers and performers and kind of see if this was, a working model, a viable business, something that we could attract corporate partners or LGBTQ brands or LGBTQ celebrities and thought leaders. And, it turned out really well. We had 3 full days of programming with lots of different topics, some great comedians and singers, and Mateo Lane, who I absolutely love, he came and joined us. Carmen Carrera, who's a gorgeous transgender model. She's an actress. She owns her own talent agency. She was the first transgender person to walk the Victoria's Secret runway. Like having all of these people, come together, I think was really exciting. And we had some people who were moderators from, The Advocate and Forbes, and, they had some really cool, interesting discussions. A favorite was the Globetrotter guys, and it's two young gay men, I think early 30s. They travel the world, they document everything. They have a really popular Instagram, and they talked with somebody who covers travel for Forbes magazine, and um, it was neat. It just wasn't about like the hottest places with the hottest bars and the hottest guys. It was also, places you need to be careful holding hands or you could end up in jail. It was just incredibly informative, gave a lot of insight. And, having all of those different topics really got us excited about doing the live events. And it's like, what else can we cover? What should we be talking about? What's going on in the political landscape that, we should address, as well as making this platform where people can promote their latest projects as well.
Yeah. I love that you're really just bringing together so many people from all different industries, and that they're able to really bring what they're doing in their own ways. And you're saying, like, I want you to be successful and promote what it is that you're doing. It just gives people that really unique platform that I feel like so many people want and need. It's just such a beautiful thing. But I want to know from you, I know you said all of this has really been going on for the last few years. What are some of those different challenges that you've been facing as you've really been building this and creating this?
I will say when it came to a lot of the corporate partners, some of them might be reluctant because it is, oh, this is your first year. We want to see how it goes. And that can be a really tough thing to hear because you end up with like your fifth meeting with a big streaming company or pharmaceutical company or somebody big. And it's so exciting. And they're like, call us next year. And it's like, ouch, but we learned a lot. We made some really great connections. I think has really helped us as far as getting some huge names involved with this year. But I think one of the more difficult things is just the funding. We had a really hard time getting people to see something that hasn't been done before.
Mm-hmm.
Not even as far as like a first year goes, but as a business altogether. They're like, we have seen some LGBTQ conferences, we have seen some LGBTQ festivals. Like what you're making is completely different. Whether they're sponsors or investors, they just can, like I said, be a bit reluctant to jump on because it hasn't been done. Meanwhile, there's people like Kelly and Winget who's like, I love that this hasn't been done before. Let's do it. And that's the big difference. Those are the pioneers. Those are the people you want to work with and partner with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And this kind of leads me to my next exciting thing to also share. And I think something that I love so much about what you're doing is that you're including the mental health piece. And I will actually be speaking at this event, which I'm so excited about. Woo! We are pumped, and we're going to share some behind the scenes because this is a little bit in the workings, but I think it's such an important topic for our listeners and something that you can get behind. It's something that you can really be involved in. One, I love that you're incorporating the mental health piece because I think so often we're so focused on, what's happening, the professional side, like what are all those other parts, but we forget to take care of ourselves in the process. And that reminder that we all wouldn't be able to do what we do if we didn't take care of ourselves and pour into ourselves in that way is just so important. So a little bit about the topic is Dani and I think a lot of our listeners may know this from some of it, but Dani and I also work in the corporate space. And so by doing so, we see that there's a lot of LGBTQ plus employees that struggle. 46% of LGBTQ plus professionals are still closeted at work, which shows us there's definitely still something happening where we have to redefine what belonging means. We have to redefine how LGBTQ plus people are treated in the workplace. And I think this is such an interesting topic specifically for this event. And I'd love to know from you too, Wesley, like, how do you think this topic will influence this event and help it be successful?
Well, I think it's going to be relatable to most of the attendees. And I think with a lot of the speakers that we have, it's going to be something that's at least touched on somewhat whenever we look at, people telling their stories, whether it be whenever they were trying to overcome something or their success, that there's so much that has to do with your mental health. We discussed inclusivity and how belonging can affect your mental health. And I think that's going to be an excellent topic for Unleashed LGBTQ. And it's something that, you know, I've had my own struggles with. We were talking about this before, you know, I'm biracial. I never felt white enough. I never felt Mexican enough. I'm also bisexual. You know, I don't feel like I fit in with the straight nor the gay community. Sometimes gay men can be incredibly harsh, you know, with oh, you're not bi, you're gay, just say you're gay, you know. And it's like, well, then I'd be lying to myself and you. And, you know, I want to live my own truth as well. So you do you, I'll do me, you know.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think whenever we look at what that means, whether it's you growing up or in the corporate space, you know, it's something that very much needs to be addressed, because what you just mentioned, the statistics, I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's 46%. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Well, yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear more from yourself, and just anything else that you've learned from this and what we could expect from your topic at Unleashed.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I'm so excited because I feel like this piece, I think a lot of people go in and support with different trainings and helping allies. And I think that's also a part of this, but also that identity focused support, because we're seeing that, you know, less than 1% of LGBTQ plus professionals are in those leadership positions, are in those C-suite roles, and we need more representation. You know, that idea of a possibility model, seeing that there's something out there that exists, and knowing for aspiring either queer entrepreneurs, people that want to go into the workplace and want to move their way up in companies, that it's possible for you to be your authentic self and move up and not feel like you have to fight and, you know, just yourself and your friends and not share this part of you because you're afraid it'll jeopardize your role. I mean, and you'll hear a little bit of my story and what I'm going to speak about, but I'm going to talk about why I left corporate and why I left that space, because I didn't feel like I could be myself. And I felt like it was very hetero, and it was very so much about, you know, not showing these different parts. And I felt like it affected my mental health a lot. And at the end of the day, I think we all have to look at our own happiness and we have to decide, is this worth it to me? We're spending 80% of our time and our life at work. So I think it's something that I want to just bring more awareness that corporations can be paying for this kind of support for their employees. It's very, very needed. And if you look at the stats of the mental health, the current state in the community right now, for lesbian, gay, bisexual, it's 2 times as likely that they experience mental health conditions or mental health struggles than our heterosexual counterparts. For transgender people, it's 4 times as likely that they will struggle and really just not have the resources to deal with anything. So it's very, very high. And LGBTQ plus people are one of the most targeted people of hate crime. And so looking at those numbers, there's got to be more support, but I think there's a way to do it. And we've talked about this on our calls: holistic belonging, bringing everyone together and having this lens of intersectionality to really create a space. And I think that's really what you're doing too, Wesley. Like, you're bringing people from every single industry and you're looking at all these different parts and saying, let's come together, because the truth is we are better when we are together. And that diverse perspective is how we can learn. If everyone's the same all the time, you know, there's not a lot of room for growth. You're thinking the same. Oh my gosh, how many times have we been in conversation with people? And I love these conversations where you hear something and you go, I've never thought of it like that before. I feel like this event that you're hosting will be exactly that. Everybody that's coming will have a new idea, a new thought, new perspective, and it's really going to shape the way that people go out. And I think that anyone who comes, it'll just be a domino effect for who they impact next with their new ways of thinking. And I think conferences are so profound for that reason, that you immerse yourself in. And I love that it's going to be, you know, you're going to get to network at these events. You're going to get to be social, but also you're going to be able to really learn and then have conversations with these people that are also there because they want to grow too and be better. I love that. But that's a little bit about that. I also wanted to ask you, just because you are incorporating all these different aspects of, you know, people from various different industries, How do you think these elements, just personally from your own ideas and why you're bringing in all these different industries, how do you think that'll contribute to the success of this event, just from your lens?
Um, I think it's important to make these things very well rounded. I wanted to specifically do this hands on as far as developing the programming. We saw a lot of different opportunities. Of course, we made submissions on the website where people could reach out to us and, you know, submit to be part of our event. They would write down what they could contribute, put down any links to their YouTubes, and we got to see them speak. And it was really neat to just see a lot of people. And sometimes you get one and you're like, oh, I know exactly who that is, or I've met that person before. But we looked at it in this sort of sense of, whenever we are talking about, either physical health. I was telling y'all earlier, Dr. Carlton is going to be part of our programming, our lineup, and he is somebody who started an Instagram page about sexual health. He gave a lot of great tips on, bottoming, and he also, God, he went on to consult for the White House and the CDC, and over the monkeypox outbreak, and has done so much. I've seen him in so many different magazines. So when we had a chance to talk over the phone and I got his interest, to be in this, it was so nice to see that, that part would be covered. When we ended up getting Anthony Porowski, I absolutely love Queer Eye. He's one of my favorite people that I love to watch cook. Actually did get to go see him do this presentation on stage, and it's amazing. He's so charismatic. He's so sweet. It is entertaining to watch. He does a Q&A, but there's so much more to this, whether it be about food and nourishment, or the joy of cooking, or watching somebody who's queer become so successful on an Emmy award-winning show. You take so much out of each of these things, or like yourself with the mental health. And we were talking about India Moore. I think there's parts of this where people are like, this is celebrity entertainment. This is going to be more fun than anything. But, I think about her story and just how insightful some of this can be when you're looking at a transgender, non-binary person who got a chance because Ryan Murphy wanted to make a show about the ballroom scene in New York in the 80s and the AIDS epidemic. And, what that means to people like them. And, them going on to like become the face of Yves Saint Laurent Cosmetics, to be in the next Aquaman, just all of these things. That Billy Eichner, I adore. I think he's hilarious. Bros was one of the funniest movies of that year for sure. And Universal Pictures took a big chance. That was one of the largest budgets they've ever given to a LGBTQ film, rom-com, for marketing, for anything. And it was just one of my absolute favorites. And getting to hear what he went through as somebody who was the film, he created the film. I know he was one of the writers. He starred in it, and he was just so incredibly hands-on. I think that you were going to get so much from learning about a lot of these people's experience, to where it's not just, hey, here's a celebrity and here's entertainment. We're actually going to learn a whole lot from these people's experiences. And I think, whenever we looked at building this programming for these 3 days, it was just important to check a lot of different boxes. And again, we're just so incredibly excited to have you two on board, because that just even adds more to it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing who you've been able to bring into this space, and who's willing to go, I want to share this. I want to share these different parts of my story and how I got here. I think there's a lot of, sometimes there's gatekeeping, right, of how it all happens, and
Sure.
we're wondering. But to me, and I feel like you feel this way too, if one queer person wins, we all win. And so bringing us together into this platform where people can share, they can share their experiences, their stories, there's just going to be so much to learn. This kind of leads me a little bit into my next question too, of just, if I was an attendee, let's say that I knew nothing about it, and I was like, I want to go, I maybe listen to this podcast, like what can I expect as an attendee to come? Maybe even speaking to an ally or somebody who is part of the community. What can you expect on both ends?
Well, we just hope that everybody walks away with a lot, whether it's the educational opportunities, the networking opportunities, the entertainment. We just want people to, when they leave, just say, I got a lot out of this, and I can't wait to attend next year, and I can't wait to see who's speaking next year. And if somebody ends up learning about their new favorite queer TV show or something from attending this, that lets us know we've done something right. Or we have some great people who talking about what's next in diversity and inclusion. And there's still things that I'm learning and in that space, and I want to continue to learn. And I think that's one of the reasons that events like this, it's important for them to exist. We're always trying to move forward. And we just got this one guy, Zach Heron. He's a NASCAR driver, gay man, and he lost a lot of his sponsors. And NASCAR is a sport that's inherently conservative.
Yeah.
And we had some big companies, or Lambda Legal came in, and a few other companies that were like, we're not going to let you lose your space in this, and the representation is great. And I think that says just a whole lot. And maybe some people will get inspired by that. But yeah, we really just want people to learn and walk away with a whole lot, make some great connections, and have a really good time.
Yeah, I love that. And I want to add this piece in here too. With the political climate right now, why do you think right now is, the perfect time for this event? And I think with the community and everything of people being able to come together, it's so important. But what are your thoughts on how this event will help or shift or just be a part of what's happening in the world right now?
I think it's going to be important for some people to see that there's just so much more to our community than some of the ways that they see us. Of course, our culture has, we love our drag queens, we love our circuit parties, we love our, we're a different breed, and we love that. But there are some things that we have to realize where we are the same. We are business professionals. We are people who do want to be accepted. We are people who deal with mental health and just all of these other things. We are part of the economy. I mean, we bring so much. I mean, billions and billions of dollars. This can't be overlooked. And I think that we really do need this space. And I'm actually really proud that we are doing it in Texas. We had somebody who got on our LinkedIn page and kind of made this comment of, I cannot believe you're doing this in Texas, or whatever they were saying. Just I retaliated with, well, this is why it's important to do this in Texas. There are a lot of us are getting affected. Texas is the home to some of the largest cities in the country, Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. All these people are surrounded by these red counties. And the fact that we all get to come together in some of these a safe space, as well as people from all over the country. I think it's like you said, more important now than ever for us to be heard and to talk about these things.
Yeah. No, I love that. We have to keep showing up. Like the representation is so needed. And I know that if I was growing up again and I saw something like this, or I had an opportunity to attend an event like this, it would have changed. It would have changed a lot. And I would have saw earlier on that there's so many possibilities and that I can be successful as a queer person.
Yeah.
I think that, stigma or what people have thought, you won't be successful, you won't do all of these things. It's played in my mind for so many years, but seeing these events and seeing queer entrepreneurs, seeing someone like yourself, Wesley, and everything that you've been able to create and do, it just gives so much hope for what generations before us can expect and what people that will continue to grow up will see and know that they can do too. And that is why it's so important, especially in the places where we don't feel the most accepted.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Is there anybody that y'all are excited to hear speak, or?
Honestly, I mean, there's an amazing lineup. I feel like you said India Moore, Billy Eichner. Oh my gosh, like a lot of the celebrities. I'm excited for. I love food. That's one of my favorite things. I love food. So the cooking demonstration, that's gonna be a good one. I can't wait
Yeah.
to see what's gonna be cooked.
I'm also a really big fan of Keely, so I also want to see her those two.
Ooh, say that again.
Keely, right here.
Okay, yes, of course.
She's my
I
biggest.
love that. Oh,
Yeah.
biggest fan.
Um.
I'm a fan as well. Have y'all ever seen Brian Sims
Right. So.
speak? He was the former state representative from Pennsylvania.
Okay,
No.
no.
Very
No.
active on the floor about, LGBTQ youth. A gorgeous man. Um, I just love hearing him speak or be interviewed. I saw him at the last South by Southwest and just went to his panel, and he's just very straightforward, always to the point, and just so unapologetically um, himself, but hilarious, and just all the best parts about being woke, I think, and for somebody who is cisgendered white male, he's a gay man, but he's just very in tune with everybody, incredibly empathetic. I mean, God, I think he gave his kidney to his neighbor, like
Oh my gosh.
literally. Yeah, I'm not even joking. Like, I mean, the sweetest man.
Yeah. I
But
love.
yeah, look him up when we're done, and
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
I think he'll just be blown away. Such a compassionate, beautiful person, inside and out. Um, but I always look forward to running into him again. We were at the Out 100 party in New York, and I got to chat with him for a good while. He expressed how excited he was to be a part of this event, and it was right when we started attaching a lot of these huge names, and it was funny how many of them he knew, and who he was excited to see, and he's the biggest fan of Drag Race, and yeah. But I look forward to y'all meeting him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just to meet everyone too. I'm so excited. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up here, but I have two more questions
Sure.
for you. As a queer trailblazer, okay, because this is so important and I'm so excited that we're having you on and getting to speak with you and work with you directly. What advice, this is I know a lot of people are gonna get so much value from this. What advice do you have for aspiring queer entrepreneurs or individuals looking to make an impact and go into these spaces and create inclusion and safe spaces for people to really show up and be their true selves?
You got to have a lot of grit. You got to be incredibly resilient. You got to be able to get back up a lot. It can be exhausting. Um, but if you want anything bad enough, just really keep going. Be prepared to pivot. I think whenever we first started this, the business model looked a whole lot more like expo. Even that was like in our name. It became a lot more about the messaging and the speakers, the programming, and you know I think it's important to collaborate as much as you can. I had a really strong vision on how I wanted everything. I know y'all know Amanda with Samoila PR. She's her and her whole team has been incredible in helping me overcome some certain challenges, add things to our messaging. So, as somebody who's a founder, it was, and I'm also consider myself very much a creative, so we can be a little sensitive when it comes to someone critiquing our work and stuff like that.
Yes,
So,
we
yeah.
feel you.
So with you have to remind yourself, okay, it is creative. It is almost even art in its own way, but it is business, and it's important to have a lot of people who know what they're doing and contribute. And I had to really learn how to delegate. So whenever you're looking at growth, you have to offset a lot of those responsibilities, and trust the people who know what they're doing. um, but yeah, patience, and you know, it's just not easy. And some days you're gonna have those wins, and you know, a whole lot of days, if not weeks in a row. You know, it's just going to be challenge after challenge, obstacle after obstacle. And, you know, I was describing to someone, it's like, you know, sometimes you feel like you're climbing up the mountain and you got to the top and you look up and there's a whole lot more mountain. And that just is going to keep happening. So just get used to it.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. No, I love that.
It's just like being comfortable in the uncertainty, I think, of
Yeah.
where we're all going, because I think all of us are really pioneering this new way of living as queer people and changing everything, I think, you know, in the best way that we can. So I think it's just
Yeah.
being comfortable with not knowing what's next, but still being dedicated to make the impact that we want to be making is all really important, I think, for everyone also listening.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You gave this analogy of the mountain you're climbing and then you're looking down or you're looking up and you're like, you look like you've went a long way, and then you look up and you go, whoa, we got a lot more to go. But also I've had these dreams, you know, of also being a queer entrepreneur, these dreams of like almost every single day you build your brick wall and then in the night someone knocks it down and you rebuild every single day and you figure out.
Dream you have?
Sometimes I have dreams like that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Right? Where you're like,
Yeah, for sure.
am I making an impact? Am I actually showing up in the way I need? And I think we all need this reminder that we've done so many great things and we will continue to. And a lot of that goes back into just acknowledging the growth we've had, even when it feels like, you know, we haven't gotten far, we haven't done all the things we want to do. We'll get there. We just got
Definitely.
to
Yeah.
keep going.
No, I had somebody who I don't know if they grounded me or lifted me up. I don't know how you would put it, but it was like I was feeling, you know, just super down and just almost defeated. And they're like, okay, Wes, I can only feel so bad for you. Like, I just watched you do an incredible call with Netflix. You have this great write-up in Out Magazine. You've done this and this and this. And it's like, okay, yeah, you know, you do have to remind yourself sometimes to look back and give yourself credit on all the things you have accomplished. And you know, it's good to pat yourself on the back. Don't get too comfortable, but you know, acknowledge and count your blessings. And
Yeah.
you know, I think that's super important to do. And I have to remind myself to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're proud of you, Wesley.
Thank you. I'm proud of y'all. I love your show.
Yeah,
And I'm super excited to have y'all involved. This is going to be really cool. It's going to be a great addition to our event.
Oh, we're gonna have a great time in Dallas. So let's lead it in. How can our listeners find out more information about Unleashed LGBTQ plus? Where can they get a ticket? What does this all look like? We're gonna drop it all in our show notes as well, so we'll have some more information there. But how can they also connect with you?
Yeah, you can follow us on anything. We're at Unleashed LGBTQ all together. So if it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, that's how you can find us. If you go to our website, www.unleashedlgbtq.com, one of the first things you'll see is the register button. It'll take you to our partners at C Tickets, where you can purchase a 1-day pass, a 3-day pass. We have some other accommodating options. If you need to be seated, if you want to meet some of the talent, get an autograph or a selfie or a photo with some of the celebrity talent. Yeah, but make sure you get it soon. It's something that you will have to plan for if you are not living in Dallas. So I know a lot of people are asking us which hotels to use. We have hotel partners on our website that are close by. Lorenzo and Crown Plaza have been amazing to us. But yeah, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you'll get updates. We have a lot more things that are coming out, announcements that we're making. You can look at our schedule and our lineup and learn a lot more about some of the speakers, whether they're the big celebrity talent, whether they're, you know, some of the people who are doing some really impactful things. We have tons of different thought leaders, like you said, from all sorts of different industries. Get on our website and find out more. There's a lot to see there.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. And I can't wait to see you in person if you come to the event. Make sure you get your ticket. Dani will put all of that in the comments here so you can check it out. And we'll have more information. So thank you so much.
We are going to include a discount page for your listeners specifically. So if they're people who subscribe to Come Out Happy, we will have a discount code. We will be producing it this week. So yeah, I guess you can look out for that in the copy. Okay, Perfect.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll put it in there. Come on. We want to see you in person. So join us. And yeah, thank you so much, Wesley. We so appreciate
Thank you. Y'all are the best. Y'all are fun.
thank you. Well, we're gonna have fun in person. All right. Bye, everyone.